Isn't it crazy that today, as people, we are more connected now than we have ever been? We have smartphones, group chats, we've got social media, you can game online with your buddies, and there's dating apps. Yet today, men are more isolated and more alone than ever. And there's data to back this as well. According to the American Perspective Survey, 15% of men today report having zero close friends, which is 5 times higher than what was recorded in 1990, which was 3%. At the same time, the percentage of men who have 6 or more close friends has been cut in half, which was 55% and is now down to 27%. There was also a Gallup poll that was completed that states that 1 in 4 young men aged 15 to 34 say they feel lonely a lot of the day, which equates to 25%, which is compared to the 18% of women in the same age range. Young American men are among the loneliest in the entire Western world. Here is why this matters. Chronic loneliness is not a harmless thing. It's actually been linked to higher rates of depression, anxiety, poor sleep, weakened immune systems, and even shorter lifespans. I think that shows you how detrimental this loneliness epidemic really is. A lot of men right now are suffering in silence because they've been told that admitting loneliness actually makes them weak. But unfortunately, staying silent only makes the problem worse. So, why is this happening? What is causing this loneliness epidemic to happen? Because it didn't just happen overnight. There's been a lot of combinations of different changes in our modern lives that have kind of stacked all of this up against us. And the first reason is because of the collapse of male friendships. Life used to revolve around a tight-knit group of guys. I think about where I was back in high school and college and the freedom that I had before life really took over and the groups of guys that I got to hang out with through sports, work, different people just in the neighborhood. And today, we move for more jobs, work longer and more isolated hours, and we simply just drift apart. A lot of men today say that their friendships faded after high school or college, and they never really came back. And that kind of leads us into where we are today. We used to have these friends that we would see in real life, and we have gone through a complete digital replacement. We've traded real world hangouts for screens, and we spend hours scrolling through Instagram, watching YouTube, gaming online, and just doom scrolling all around. It gives us a fake sense of connection. And these activities really, they deliver the quick dopamine, but they leave us feeling really empty afterwards because real friendship requires eye contact, shared experiences, and time together in person. You can't replicate those things in this digital era that we live in. This replacement that we've done of real life friends with these digital dopamine hits that we supplement it with have given us the loss of traditional male spaces. Think about all the different environments where men naturally built bonds, whether it was on a sports team or it was in some sort of organization at your school. I can think about most of the friends that I made in college were literally just on the floor that I lived on when I moved in. That's how we met and that's how we got to know each other. I can give you a handful of times where in high school I would just hang out with my friends in the garage. A lot of these different spaces have completely disappeared or they're heavily criticized in modern culture because of the toxic masculinity frame that they've given us. Without them, men have lost really easy and low pressure ways to connect. Besides that, with the spaces for just men, there's been a lot of changes in how men interact with their significant others for dating or marriage and family life. People today are getting married later or not at all, and if they do, divorce rates are super high. When men do have a partner, they often put all their emotional needs on her if they don't have those male friends. So that relationship is generally doomed to fail because men are left with almost no support network other than their significant other. And let's be real, in dating, they're not there to be your therapist. They should be there for you, but they shouldn't carry all of your emotional baggage that you have. And when it comes to dating, it's very obvious that the market has been skewed to be very anti men in a lot of ways. These apps for dating are built to kind of see men fail. They make money off of your failure. That's why they have these Tinder Gold subscriptions that you can get because they want you to keep coming back and they want you to keep making money. It wouldn't be a profitable business if everyone was finding dates and deleting these apps. With that being said, too, there's also the T app that exists where anyone can post anything about a dude that they went on a date with, and that can really ruin their life. I don't necessarily know if I agree with that. It can be safe in a lot of cases, so that way you know you're not going out with a weirdo or a complete freak. But in the instances of a nice guy just maybe saying the wrong thing once and slips up, awkward things do happen, that can bring him down entirely. And this kind of leads us into where we are today with how society views men, because society is still sending us a lot of mixed messages. We are told that we need to be tough, don't complain, handle it yourself. At the same exact time, we're told that we need to stop being toxic men by being so tough. We need to be emotionally available. It's confusing the hell out of us. The fact of the matter is that men today feel ashamed to reach out to anybody or admit that they need friends, and that deepens the isolation. But here's what makes a real man: understanding that you need to take accountability for your own actions and take the steps in order to move forward to see yourself grow. That's what being a man is about. So, what are some things that we can do to fix this loneliness epidemic that we see on our own lives? Step one is going to be becoming the initiator. Stop waiting for other people to reach out. Send the text, suggest the meetup. Just go, hey man, want to grab a drink? Go get a workout? Watch the game this weekend? Even if it feels awkward at first, consistency is everything. A lot of guys are just waiting for someone else to make the first move. So be the one that initiates. Sometimes the difference between keeping a friendship alive is you not reaching out. So be the one that makes sure that you and your buddies stay in contact. Step number 2 is going to be about joining or creating your own real world group. It's time to hop off the Discord call, get out of the Xbox party. It's time to go and meet people in real life. There's so many different things that you can get involved in. If there's a sport that you used to play and you want to casually do it, find a rec sports league. On this channel, you're going to hear me talk a lot about going to the gym or doing some sort of martial arts training. There's nothing like getting together with a group of guys that all want to get better and you can physically compete with someone, especially in a martial arts space, whether it's jiu-jitsu or it's boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai. When you get to spar with someone, that's what gives us our male nature and being able to compete and being able to get better in those different areas. If you're not interested in something that's violent and maybe it doesn't fit your physical needs that you're looking for, you can do other things like volunteering. You can find a club. If you go on Facebook, you can search a different activity that you're interested in. It could be working on cars. You could be going for hikes. You could go fishing. You could even game in person. You just need to find a group of like-minded people that you can meet up with in person. Step number 3 is going to be about building purpose and discipline. Now, the last 2 videos that I did are about just that, so I'd recommend giving those a look if you're struggling with discipline issues or if you're needing to find your own purpose. Go ahead and give those previous 2 videos a look. Discipline is going to be about you building up a personality that you respect in and of yourself. Do you respect yourself right now? When you do, you're going to be able to carry yourself differently because you're going to feel more confident. You're going to naturally attract better connections and better people in your life. And when you have a purpose, it gives you something to talk about and invite others into. Think about something that you did in the past that you were extremely proud of, that you accomplished, made, created, whatever it may be. You probably went to everybody and bragged about exactly what you did, and you maybe got mixed positive and or negative reviews. But regardless of the reviews, that sense of purpose probably gave you a significantly better sense of your own direction in life. When you have direction in life, it helps you figure out who you want to be and where you want to go, and it can help fill that emptiness void that we have inside of us. So go out and find your own purpose in life and start building that self-discipline, because when you have these 2 things, you're going to command a lot of other respect from others. And when this happens, you're going to feel significantly better about yourself, and it's going to help out with that emptiness that you feel. Step 4 is going to be about setting limits on things digital in your life. When it comes to the social media that you're taking in every single day, you're spending a lot of time doom scrolling and maybe comparing yourself to others that aren't helping fill that emptiness void that you have. So go ahead and go into your settings on your phone and set hard time limits on the amount of social media that you can consume every single day. You can go into each app and you can set a specific timer for the amount of time that you want to spend on it, but you shouldn't do anything more than that, because the doom scrolling is just going to make everything feel worse. If you're lonely, you probably shouldn't be gaming. Gaming should be something that you do as a reward to yourself. Maybe you had a long day at work, maybe you had a really busy weekend and you want to take the last few hours of your weekend to unwind and play some video games. But if you're just using it to avoid real life and not connect with other people, that's where the issue begins. Gaming can be a fantastic tool when it comes to helping build a sense of community and meeting new people online. But if you're using it as something where you just play a solo story video game for 9-10 hours at a time every single day, that's where we might want to do some reconsideration and getting out and meeting some people. And the last step 5 is going to be about seeking mentorship and accountability. There's going to be people in your life that you look up to. They could be the same age, they could be older. That part doesn't necessarily matter. You could find an older, wiser man who is living the life that you want and that you respect. It could be a mentor, it could be a coach, or it could be a leader of a group that you're in. Be willing to learn from them. At the same time, create some accountability by sharing your goals with people who's going to check in on you. Having men in your corner who expect you to grow is incredibly powerful. It fights loneliness while building discipline and purpose at the same time. When you have a mentor or some sense of mentorship in your life, you're going to get the ability to learn from mistakes. They're going to help you become the kind of man that other men want to be around, someone that's calm, competent, positive, and dependable. So look, loneliness is a modern problem, but it has real actionable solutions. You don't have to accept that your isolation is normal. You can decide today that you're going to take the first step, whether that's texting an old friend, joining a group, or committing to better habits. You're only going to be as lonely as you allow yourself to be. So you need to start today if you're looking to build those relationships with the people that you want, making the connections that you want, and being able to accomplish the things that you want. You've got everything inside you to build the life and the brotherhoods that you want. Start today. Stay strong. I love you, boys. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.